breaking news now. Iran has launched missiles into Israel, and that's according to the Israeli military. As you can see, live pictures on your screen now of sirens there across the skyline of Tel Aviv. Moments ago, we heard these sirens in Jaffa, Tel Aviv. And for the latest on this breaking news story, I'm now joined by GBNews' Homeland Security Editor, Mark White. Mark, we've been speaking throughout the show as tensions continue to escalate. What's the latest?
This is the attack everyone had feared. Confirmation now from the IDF. I can read out the statement that they have just released as we continue to watch live shots of Tel Aviv this evening. A short while ago, they say, missiles were launched from Iran towards the state of Israel. You are instructed, it says, to remain alert and precisely follow home front command instructions. As you're still on me, I can probably show you. I have this system here that gives you an idea of rocket alerts. I've never, ever seen this clustered like this before. This is the whole of central Israel. Rocket alerts galore over that area. You got live shots now. We'll continue to watch that with the Iron Dome missile defense system in operation, trying to take out these missiles that are landing. I'll continue to read that statement from the Israeli Defense Force saying, you are instructed to remain alert and precisely follow the Home Front Command's instructions. In the last few minutes, the Home Front Command has distributed life-saving instructions in various areas across the country. The public is asked to adhere to the Home Front Command's guidelines. Upon hearing a siren, you must enter protected spaces and remain there until further notice. Very dramatic images, as we can see on our screen now. The Iron Dome missile systems that are going up into the air, trying to intercept these missiles that are incoming, ballistic missiles, we understand, that are coming from Iran. And the worrying thing in the images that I'm seeing on the screen now, I've watched live in person in Tel Aviv, the Iron Dome going up. It would intercept these rockets that often come from Gaza. You see the Iron Dome going up, and then you see an explosion in the sky. We are seeing what looks like missiles going through the Iron Dome and heading down to the ground in the Tel Aviv area. We'll need confirmation, of course, from the Israeli government and the Israeli military that that is indeed what is happening. But it certainly looks like, from the images there, that you're not just seeing explosions in the sky, Martin, but we are also seeing missile streaks that look as though they're heading towards the ground. I noticed at least another one there, Martin, coming down, going behind that high-rise building in central Tel Aviv.
Oh, White, the pictures on screen there, as you say, you can see the Iron Dome missiles going up to attempt to intercept ballistic missiles that are inward coming. But of course, if that system is overloaded, Mark, if there are simply too many incendiary devices coming in, and we can see there now what appears to be fires have broken out on the ground across Tel Aviv. So clearly, Mark White, some of these missiles are getting through. They are making contact at ground level, sirens blaring out. And Mark White, for those who didn't see it, the image on your phone there, because of course you've been to Tel Aviv for GB News, you were there, you had that app on your phone to alert to incoming missile attacks, and you're saying it's just lighting up like a Christmas tree. It's non-stop.
Yeah, absolutely. As we look at another, clearly it looks to me like a missile that's going right down to the ground. I mean, the problem as such with the most incredible system that the Israelis have in the Iron Dome and related systems that are part of the aerial defense array is that there is only so many missiles that they can target and take out at any one time. You'll remember remember that back in April there was, for the very first time, an unprecedented attack launched by Iran because Israel, according to Iran, had taken out 2 Iranian generals in the capital of Syria, Damascus, at a strike on the Iranian embassy there. They launched this unprecedented attack, as I say, which was then 320 projectiles. Now that consisted of 30 ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, 120 ballistic missiles, and 170 drones. Now, with the help of the US military and the UK military, they were able to shoot down the vast majority of those. We're told that 99% of those missiles, aerial threats, were taken out by the Israelis and their allies, the UK and the US. But if it's more than 320 this time, it's clear, I think, that that is overwhelming those defence systems, because they were right on the edge, I think, the last time back in April, of what they would be able to do in terms of being able to get all of those threats. As I say, a small number of missiles did get through, and it looks, from what I'm seeing, we'll need confirmation. I'm just getting more alerts from the IDF, as I say. We'll need confirmation from the Israeli government about what is coming through. IDF now saying sirens sounding all across Israel. This is a nationwide alert, not just the city of Tel Aviv, but all across Israel now, according to the IDF, sirens sounding. And what we're looking at there on our screens is images from what is being treated as a terrorist attack that we can only assume has been timed to coincide with this huge ballistic missile attack from Iran. This is on the outskirts of Tel Aviv in Jaffa. We're told that at least 10 people have been shot, some of those critically injured. No word that I can see on deaths as yet. You might have a better idea of that from where you are, Martin, but clearly a very significant incident that was unfolding on the outskirts of Tel Aviv anyway, with what we're told was 2 gunmen, and no indications yet that those gunmen have actually been captured or eliminated. So still at large, we think, and a number of casualties reported there. And in addition to that, now the attack sirens sounding right across Israel, with a very significant, it seems, launch coming from the Iranian regime.
Now, Mark White, earlier on today, a couple of hours ago, Washington, D.C. said there would be very severe consequences if Iran were to attack Israel. Mark White, it looks like that has happened. Can you give us an idea of the military capabilities of the respective countries in this area? A lot of people think that Iran can't possibly win a war with Israel in terms of how it's equipped, in terms of its personnel, its armaments, its arsenal, let alone if the USA decided to wade in to support Israel. In terms of this developing into something bigger, into all-out war, what might that look like, Mark White?
Well, it doesn't bear thinking about, to be honest, if it was an all-out war between Iran and between Israel. The hope is, as much as it's a hope, because it's horrible to contemplate in itself, is that we get a launch that we're clearly seeing now from Iran. Israel responds in some degree to that, and then that's it. They call it quits, as they did back in April. But if this is as it seems, a very significant launch that's hitting multiple areas of Israel, then all bets are off really in terms of how Israel decides to respond to that. And of course, if we are also seeing attacks from Hezbollah in the north, because they have been crippled, they have been badly wounded by the attacks from Israel in the last couple of weeks, but they still have a very significant capability there. And if Israel is being attacked on multiple fronts tonight, then we are in a very, very dangerous place.
And Mark White, we had the Foreign Secretary David Lammy earlier on saying we want a ceasefire, we want a de-escalation, we believe in a political solution. Mark White, that looks increasingly forlorn and perhaps naive, because the writing has been on the table for a long, long time. The Islamic Republic of Iran have been very outspoken in their objective. They seem to want to destroy Israel and all it stands for.
Yes, absolutely. And we are expecting, actually, a statement, according to Iranian state TV, from the Revolutionary Guards to be published soon. But as we await that, the Israeli media, Martin, is reporting that 100 missiles have been launched from Iran towards Israel, fired towards Israel. Also, Iranian missiles have, we're told, been intercepted in Jordanian airspace as they flew over Jordanian airspace towards Jerusalem. That's according to the Reuters news agency. And more, as we're looking into the night sky there, are these live shots that we are looking at the moment of Tel Aviv? Or is that the earlier alerts that were
these are live shots.
You're looking now at live shots of Tel Aviv with the sirens sounding once again. I'm going to pause and let you listen to that.
So, Mark White, that is the ballistic missiles coming in to the area, and we will shortly see, no doubt, the Iron Dome go up. Of course, that's a complex system of intercepting missiles, trying to stop any of these missiles landing. But as you said, Mark White, there is a bandwidth of what they can handle, and if that gets overloaded, then these missiles start landing. And we seem to be going through a second barrage, Mark White. We saw first barrage about 5 minutes ago. Seems to be a fresh barrage now incoming, Mark.
Yes, we can see those aerial array defence systems in operation now up there. This is very much the kind of imagery that I witnessed a year ago in Israel, with multiple rockets streaking up into the sky looking for targets, and they explode near these targets. You can see the Iron Dome exploding there, but at least 2-3 projectiles that I can see heading down right towards central Tel Aviv with impacts on the ground in the distance. There are more explosions in the night sky over Tel Aviv from these missile systems. As I say, they're very, very clever, very sophisticated. They know what to track. They track them, they detonate near projectiles, sending out thousands of pieces of shrapnel to explode and to take those missiles out of the air. And they are effective the vast majority of the time, but on occasions, of course, missiles get through. And just the imagery we're looking at, no confirmation from the Israeli government that I've seen so far as yet, but it certainly looks as though it's either missiles coming down or the leftover spent remains of Iron Dome missiles coming back down to earth, because we can't understate the fact that, you know, as great as they are for the Israeli people to protect the population, they can also come down and cause collateral damage on the ground as well. I've got an update for you, Martin, with regard to the terrorist attack on the outskirts of Tel Aviv, the city we're looking at the screen on the moment. the Israeli government now confirming that 4 people have been killed and 7 wounded in this shooting attack in the Tel Aviv suburb of Jaffa. 2 shooters, we're told now, according to the Israeli government, in their description, have been neutralised, so have been taken out, killed, we assume. We also, Martin, have had a statement from the US President Joe Biden saying on Tuesday, "We discussed how the United States is prepared to help Israel defend against these attacks and protect American personnel in the region." He said that he was clearly, as Israel's key ally, prepared to put US forces in harm's way to try to intercept these missiles before they can come in, before they can do any real damage to Israel. We are yet to hear from the UK government as to whether any of the military that we have in that region have assisted in any way. What happened back in April when Iran launched missiles, drones towards Israel is that we had UK fighter jets, Typhoon fighter jets, that were up over Iraq at the time as part of Operation Shader. This is the ongoing operation that is now beginning to wind down, but the operation to go after the Islamic State in Iraq, and then they were retasked to intercept these Iranian missiles as they came over towards Israel. So we don't know, of course, those Typhoons are normally based at RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus. They could be on station over that region pretty quickly if required, Martin.
And Israeli officials are saying they expected the target to be 3 military air bases, but this is Tel Aviv. This is the city. This is a residential area. We're seeing regular barrages, Mark, of a substantial amount of incoming missiles, and then those iron domes going up. We are seeing and hearing evidence of explosions on the ground. So clearly, Mark, it seems that some of these missiles are getting through. That, of course, is the technique, isn't it, to try and overload the Iron Dome so not everything can be intercepted. And if they're intercepted close to ground, as you said, Mark, then the explosions overhead themselves can cause significant damage with the shrapnel and the explosion raining down on very heavily populated areas.
Yes, and as I say, we still await word from the Israeli government as to whether any of those Iranian missiles have got through, whether it is the collateral fallout from the Iron Dome and other related missile systems coming down after either finding a target or not finding a target. But I'm just hearing from a source that British RAF Typhoons and a tanker aircraft are in the air currently over Turkey in the region. We don't know if they have been tasked to help out to intercept any of these incoming projectiles as yet. Again, that will have to be confirmed in the fullness of time by the British government, but a significant piece of information, I think, to bring you, that a security source confirming to me that RAF Typhoons and a refuelling tanker are currently up and over Turkish airspace.